Rick, you've just talked about how important practice has been. How'd you feel coming out of today's?
Yeah, it was pretty good practice. I mean, got the point across. Plus we have, we play every other day, so you got to make sure that you guys have their energy. So you got to be careful of how much you can do out there.
You like Garland with JT, and Max has probably earned a bit of a look in your top six. What was your rationale?
Yeah, just some spark. Some guys who can. I think we were 40% battles. We won last night. That's not good enough. So you got to switch things around when you're not winning battles. The game is about winning battles. So it's plain as simple as that.
Be careful what you wish for, and you get the Avs tomorrow night. When you get McKinnon and those guys doing what they do. How big of a test is that, and how much do you welcome it after a game like last?
Yeah, I mean, you got to play everybody. So to me, you're never scared of the schedule. You just play. Colorado's got some great players. They're going through some struggles too. They're starting to. I don't know if they're playing. I haven't really watched their team that much. I just worry about our team right now.
You've talked about everything to get your players ready to play, Rick. A lot of it is incumbent upon the coaching staff, and more importantly, the players. Get ready. However you have to get ready to play, get ready. Are you still kind of flummoxed that it just hasn't come to fruition?
Yeah, you get frustrated, but my job is to keep pounding away the right stuff. Like I said to you guys yesterday, we ice a couple of pucks when we shouldn't. It's just not the guy with the puck; it's the guy without the puck. You want the puck. We got guys. A couple of guys are straight-legged. They don't want the puck, so we ice it. I think they get a penalty. We got a penalty, or they end up scoring a goal because you just got to. I just feel like those plays. Is it focus? Is it not one? I don't know what it is. But when our team does it, we're a pretty good team.
Hughes versus Makar is always marquee material. Is Quinn's game even maybe gone to another level when you look at some of the pillars you need to be as a good defenseman?
Well, he has the puck a lot. That's a big part of his defense, and obviously he creates a lot for us, Huggy, just like Makar does for them. I mean, they're both terrific players.
So the 4 or 5 guys who weren't engaged last night, do they know they're not engaged?
Yeah, could be a couple other guys. Yeah, they know now. I hope on the drive home. I mean, that's what you're hoping. When guys go home, they're like, "Hey, man, I had a tough night, and I'm going to do something about it." Then driving home, say it wasn't me, because if you have that, then you're in trouble. But yeah, we have no problem here. Talking to players, and sometimes guys aren't going to have their A game. We understand that, but some guys were just not engaged, and we don't have the team to have 3 or 4 or 5 passengers. We just don't have it. Edmonton, they could have 4 or 5 guys sleeping. They got guys that can win the game for them. We are a team that needs everybody to play. And that was kind of most of the disheartening thing yesterday is we had some guys that weren't ready to play.
The accountability seems to be a big part of the culture that you guys have built in the last 2 years. So is now when you need that accountability?
Yeah, you need your leadership group to handle that, help out. Obviously, that's a big part of it. And then individually yourself, you make yourself accountable. I got to make players accountable with ice time or whether you play or not, things like that. I mean, there's different ways to be accountability, but you don't want to be a coach that keeps yelling and screaming and being a hard ass all the time. It's got to be a partnership. And I think for the most part, since I've been here, the guys have done a nice job of recognizing when they're not playing well what we have to do. It just seems this year's been a little bit longer leash, not leash, but recognize that, hey man, let's go here.
So you said it was part of your job to get that. How is that your job? How is that not just the player's responsibility?
Well, there's different approaches, showing with video, having one-on-one talks, being stern sometimes, taking ice time. You got to have different ways of doing it, and hopefully you have a collection of players that they're partner with you. They understand that. So yeah, is there frustration? Yeah, but not the frustration where we're panicking. We're not panicking. We know the way we can play our team identity. I just have a tough time. Like I said yesterday, you ice 4 or 5 pucks. Guys aren't ready when we do have a puck. We missed 2 the first couple of shifts. 2 12-foot passes. If we make a pass, we might get a play. So I don't know if that's not being ready to play. So that's just something that your internal clock, when game time, I got to know. Boston's D is going to back up. I'm going to get that puck in the neutral zone. I'm going to skate that puck inside the blue line. I'm going to make a play. I'm not just going to dump the puck in and not skate. I had a tough time that, especially in the first period where guys didn't understand the game plan. That's the frustration.
Has that been an issue for you at all this year, or was that just kind of a one-off last night that the guys didn't stick to the game plan you laid out for?
Well, I think this year there's been a lot of stuff. Demmer out, JT, and then Brock was hurt. Like, there's a lot of ins and outs. A lot of teams go through it, don't get me wrong. Some new guys, and I think, so you got to give a little bit of leash when that happens. But yeah, I think, we need a collective group to overcome those things by playing to our team identity. Like, we can't go rogue. You have to play a team game, not an individual game.
So between the 4 or 5 guys that weren't emotionally invested and guys going rogue last night, like, are those correctable things or are those red flags as a coach?
Well, if you're putting a bunch of these together, yeah, I guess it should be a red flag. But I don't see it to that pace. I think the guys that when we've talked to and we've showed video, they have responded in a good way. So that's what we're looking for tomorrow night.
Well, Lankinen just ill again.
Yeah. The bug has gone through our team. So I'm not using that as an excuse yesterday, but it has gone through 3 or 4 or 5 guys. I've got it. So, yeah.
Do you expect he'll be available tomorrow? Or?
I don't know. I don't think I'll talk to him if he's eaten. I don't know if he's had some food yet today. So, be a tough ask, but I don't know.
Rick, with Sasson, now it looks like based off the lines today that he's going to get that opportunity in the top 6. So, what can you say about his development? Because he wasn't even part of the organization a year and a half ago. Yeah,
I mean, you make most of your opportunity. That's what the NHL is all about. If you make the most, that's the way I look at it. He's doing a nice job. Even scoring a goal, but just moving his feet. That's the one thing that he's doing is moving his feet.
What do you say to him? If he does get this opportunity in the top 6, like, do you just tell him to play his game, or how do you?
He has to play his game. Sometimes when guys go to a different line. It's the same thing when players play with Huggy. They find that they have to do something different. If he just stays with his identity, move his feet, play good defensive hockey, be good on the forecheck. If he just does that, he's got a better chance of being successful. He's going to try to dipsy doodle because you're on a line that has some offensive skill. That's when you get in trouble.
Thatcher, there's going to be ups and downs in a season. It's just all about regrouping and getting back to work.
Yeah. You got it.
Yeah. Maintain a positive attitude, I guess.
Yeah, look, like, this is going to happen. It's normal. I think the media is this is how it is in a Canadian market. Like, it's, live by the sword, die by the sword. The season's longer than one night at a time. Obviously, we'd like to be more consistent. We'd like to be more consistent at home. I know that's the narrative out there for sure, and it's not wrong. So it's... we're addressing it, something we talk about a lot. And, unfortunately, we haven't seen, kind of what we've been preaching come to fruition quite yet. But, I think it's coming. And obviously it's a disappointing game last night. But, back on the ice today and, keep moving forward.
With Lankinen out with the flu, are you ready to carry the ball if you have to on this trip?
Yep.
There's a back-to-back in there as well. But.
Yeah, I think Lanks will be back. It's just, he's sick. It's not like he tore anything or he's good.
The Bruins had a rotation last year where they really split the cage. Both guys played a lot. Would you welcome something like that with Lanks if that came to fruition?
I don't know. It's what the Bruins did.
Yeah.
So, take it day by day.
What about for you? You've come through 2 games now.
Yeah.
Just physically, like, everything check out? And,
Yep. Yeah, for sure. All good.
Any concerns when you hustled out there to play the puck there on Pasternak?
Yeah, I'm not typically doing that. It's something definitely out of my comfort zone. I don't know why I did that. It's typically not something I would do. So I guess it was just spur of the moment. If it got the lungs going, if anything, usually goalies aren't sprinting around the rink. So.
How much did you miss the competition when you were away, or did you compartmentalize and know that your job for that time was just rehabbing to get back?
Yeah, I think when you're out for that amount of time, like, your mind wanders for sure. But again, it comes back to just controlling what you can control and trying to worry about that. Obviously, it's human nature to start gripping things too tight or, worrying about what the future might hold. And, it's tough for anyone, let alone, a pro athlete with, a lot of pressure to get back in the lineup. And it was challenging at times for sure. But, that's part of the maturity is just being able to take it day to day. And, you're coming in and, what's my job today? So, sometimes it was frustrating not playing and, I might have had a setback or two where I had to take 2-3 days off the ice, and it feels like, I'm not making any progress now. And, you can't really look at it that way. You got to take every day for what it's worth and know that everything has value.
How difficult is that McKinnon-Rantanen combination from a goalie's perspective, Thatcher, just in how quick they are and the chemistry they have down there?
I think you could probably guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone sees it. Like, they're good players. It's similar to, McDavid and Draisaitl, or, pick anyone. It's good players for
How
sure.
much you look forward to that challenge? It's a grade A challenge.
Yeah, it's another game. Still have the same job to do. Whether, it doesn't matter who's coming down. Try to get a stop.